But to each their own. Yeah, so we'll continue to take a peek at this. Draft and develop. Fan base gave him a D+, which is I can understand it. Like, Nyes and Easton Cowan are the two standouts, and then it really there's not anything
I can
else.
Understand that, but it's like also they haven't had many draft picks.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Like,
very true.
But yeah, like I would. It's tough to grade what they've done the last couple of years because we really haven't seen even this year. Like, it's going to take time for what they've done now to really take shape. So I'm hoping that will be one of the areas that they improve on.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you look at the draft and development. How many Leaf fans are looking back on the last 5-10 years, like including the Dubas era as part of their evaluation, because those guys haven't come through. They weren't drafted and developed properly. But when you look at Easton Cowan was a tree living pick, right? Danford was a tree living pick. You know what I mean? Like they're at a point where they need to wait to see how these guys draft and develop. They're not. He hasn't been around long enough to really know how this group does drafting and developing. And they brought in a brand new head scout too. Right? So a D+, all right, I could take it, I suppose, because they have not really pumped out a whole lot of talent outside of, Matthew Nyes really is it. We'll see on Easton Cowan. So I could see it, but I also think that there's a long runway before we can really judge this specific group and how they've done. Trading, public gave the Leafs a C+, the fan base gave them a C. Apparently, a lot of people still holding Tree Living accountable for the Calgary situation, and that's a big reason why the Leafs decided to, or the fan base gave them a C. Because there's a couple comments down below, and one person said, quote, I think Tree Living has improved I have concerns about the Leafs turning into a retirement home. Which one was it? Sorry. I'm trying to find
here. I think Trilling has improved the team's depth, giving himself flexibility to get another impact forward during this season. But his dubious track record with trades in Calgary make me wary.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Which is fair. We've had those conversations many times on this podcast. But he hasn't made any terrible trades as a Maple Leafs general manager. So I guess it just is open to interpretation. Are you including his time in Calgary in your evaluation process of how confident you are? Or did you just take a look at the few years and the small body of work he's done in Toronto? I guess that kind of will make it differ on how you answer that question.
I also have the retirement home comment yet. I have concerns about the Leafs turning into a retirement home. Jeez. The Leafs need to focus on a path of sustainable strength rather than burn assets on deadline moves constantly. We need a mix of young and old, similar to what Dallas has been able to achieve through strong drafting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, guess where the guy that is now leading your draft team came from?
The Dallas Stars.
Yeah. I think Brad Treliving has got the message. But it's also like he came into this without many picks. So when you've already traded so many picks, you can't just decide, we're just not going to be trading them now. I understand you need to bring in young talent, but drafting isn't the only way to do it. They've got a few college signings that they're hoping can, with some right development, can do it as well. It doesn't always have to be a draft pick to go acquire young talent.
Yeah. What else was on the list there? Free agency, both the fan base and the public both gave them C pluses. Vision, the fan base gave them a C, the public a C plus, and in total, they were both given C's. So actually, the public, interesting. The public for the total has them ranked at 21st, yet the fan base has them ranked at 25th. Yet, when you look at it, changing confidence over a year, the public is less confident than the fan base is, which is kind of funny.
It is kind of funny, and it's also kind of typical.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it is kind of typical. But I feel far better than 24th. I mean, like you look at some of the teams that are ranked ahead of them. Like I have question marks. Like the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, the Iser plan is the most confusing thing of all time. I have no idea what the plan is. There's no identity in that rebuild. It's not even a rebuild. I really don't know what Steve Yzerman's doing in Detroit. So that's a situation I don't love. That I think the Maple Leaf situation is much better. I feel far better about that situation than I do in Detroit. The Pittsburgh Penguins. You feel good about where Kyle Dubas is leading the Pittsburgh Penguins? I certainly do not. I can tell you that.
Their fan base gave them a B in division.
Their fan base had them as a B-, the 13th best. A B- according to their fan base in the Pittsburgh Penguins. The public gave them a D+. That's probably the biggest difference, I would think. Biggest separation there between the public and
65% was the confidence change.
Yeah.
I don't get that one.
Like every day we're talking about is Kyle Dubas going to trade Sidney Crosby, and the fan base is happy with the vision of where the Pittsburgh Penguins are. Give me a break.
Yeah. The Islanders coming in at 15. They were dead last a year ago.
It's a big. Well, I can understand the Schaefer situation. That you get that you get the first overall pick. That's a big boost.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, like there's been some okay, maybe under this new regime with Lou finally.
Well, what it is. Well, I think that's what it is. Because if you look, it's all about all right. Lou Lamoriello's gone. Now we have Matthew Darche, who helped build a pretty solid foundation in Tampa Bay. I would be pretty excited about that too. I don't blame the Islanders fan base for giving them a B rating. I would be pretty stoked as well. If I think they've had a good summer too. Like I thought that they had a really productive summer.
Oh, they also traded Noah Dobson.
Yeah, but they're a rebuilding team and they got 2 high draft picks and they made them work with a couple of solid selections there, and they brought in Matthew Schaefer. I think they made a couple of signings as well in free agency that I didn't mind. I don't know. I'm not as
like Drouin going there. It's not a bad move for them to get trio Drouin with Patrick Roy.
Yeah, I'm not as up in arms about that one as you are.
I just think are they that much ahead of the Leafs in terms of confidence?
Yeah, I guess it's too soon.
They were the
to tell.
32nd ranked team last year. Like they jumped up. Was that 17?
A lot.
Spot?
Yeah. It's too early to tell, I guess.
That's really. That's my feeling is just like everyone's all giddy about one off season.
How many teams in the top 5 do you think, Dave, don't look at it, are no income tax states?
I didn't even check the top 5. They went.